Welcome to Appeals for New VRS Employees. It happens from time to time that a recipient of VR services is dissatisfied with guidelines, services, or a decision made by a VR counselor. In the next couple of minutes, we'll review key information from our Appeals Policy and Guidance Chapter 12. For your reference, the VRS Policy and Guidance Manual can be found on SharePoint. There are a number of things a person can do when they don't agree with a counselor's decision about their services. They can choose any of the options listed on this slide. They can talk with their counselor and try to work it out. They can talk to the person who supervises their counselor. They can call the Client Assistance Project. They can ask for mediation or ask for a formal hearing before an administrative law judge. And the person can do all or some of these in any order. The choice is theirs. Applicants or recipients of vocational rehabilitation services often ask to speak to a supervisor about concerns they're having regarding the rehabilitation services. It is the role of the supervisor to determine whether VRS policy and rule have been correctly applied and to determine if any compromise or other course of action will resolve the individual's concern. An informal review by a supervisor is not required before a request for a formal hearing or a mediation, but may be chosen by the individual whether or not they request a formal review. The applicant or recipient of vocational rehabilitation services may ask for a review by the supervisor either in writing, in person, or by phone. The Client Assistance Project, otherwise known as CAP. The Client Assistance Project has advocates who can help make sure individuals get the services they need. They will give advice if the individual disagrees with the decision made by vocational rehabilitation services. They may also represent individuals in a hearing or a mediation. VR works with an attorney at the Disability Law Center named Ann Robertson. Ann is very knowledgeable about VR and our policies. She's actually a part of our policy core team. Staff don't need to fear working with CAP, and it does not mean they did anything wrong. CAP can provide an objective viewpoint, which can be helpful when a person is questioning or disagreeing with a VR policy or a counselor decision. You may get a call from CAP requesting information, and they will also send a consent of release. You must have a current consent in place to share data with CAP. With a release in place, give them what they ask for. Also, we don't charge for records. We have an unofficial agreement with CAP that we don't charge. You may also not hear the result of an inquiry for a variety of reasons. The case may not have been taken by CAP, or the person's question may have been answered. An example might be an individual who wanted VR to purchase a vehicle. They may have gone to CAP to verify that VR can't buy a vehicle, and the issue was resolved. What is mediation? This means sitting down with an impartial third person, someone who doesn't take sides, who is trained to work with the person and their counselor to resolve their differences. It gives both parties a chance to work out an acceptable solution without the stress, time, and expense of a formal hearing. A mediator doesn't decide who is right or wrong, but will help everyone reach an agreement. Mediation can be very helpful. After the mediation, both parties receive a written copy of the mediation agreement with the responsibilities of each party clearly indicated. Usually the counselor and their manager will attend the mediation, and the individual and their representative will attend. In some cases, when it's appropriate, the VRS policy coordinator may also attend. Most staff who have gone through the process have found it to be very helpful. Mediation is only an option in situations that are negotiable, such as refusing to provide transportation services. An example of an issue that can't be mediated is eligibility for VR services. For example, if someone doesn't have a disability but wants to be eligible for VR, it isn't negotiable. Formal hearing. Individuals have 120 days after they are told about a decision to ask for a formal hearing. If they want a formal hearing, It will be held within 60 days after it's requested, unless both parties agree to a delay. A formal hearing is not a court trial, but it is like it in many ways. An administrative law judge is in charge of a formal hearing. The person, or someone they choose, will tell the judge what they think and give any evidence or information they think is important. Vocational Rehabilitation Services is represented by the Attorney General's office and will also tell the judge why the decision was made. Mistakes happen, and when we make a mistake, we try to rectify the issue and try to resolve it outside of a formal hearing. But sometimes there is no other way to resolve a dispute. Hearings happen when there are issues that are non-negotiable. An individual can ask questions of anyone who speaks at the hearing and can look at any information VRS gives the judge. VRS can ask the individual questions too. The judge will listen to both sides and then decide what is right or wrong. The judge's report will usually be sent within 30 days after the hearing. Some examples of past hearings have included a case where an individual with a serious mental health issue and a long history of robbery and assault convictions wanted to start a business assisting vulnerable adults with applying for Social Security. This would involve a lot of access to financial and personal data of individuals. The agency would not agree to support this plan, and it went to a hearing. The complaint form. This form is used when an individual has a complaint about VRS staff or someone that VRS hired to provide services. A complaint about a person is different from a complaint about a decision. Again, the complaint form is used when the complaint is about a staff person or a provider. And it's important that VRS staff ensure recipients of vocational rehabilitation services are aware of the complaint procedure. Take a few moments after this video to familiarize yourself with the Policy and Guidance Chapter 12, in particular, the complaint procedures.